Good evening, everyone, and thank you all for joining us today. My name is Rashmita, and I am the event planner for Microsoft Reactor India. This session will run over the next 60 minutes, including Q&A. But before we begin, please take a moment to read our code of conduct. We are all here to learn together, so please be respectful of other people's views, understanding of differences, being kind and considerate in the way you engage. The chat section will be open throughout, and we do encourage you all to participate. So please feel free to drop all your questions in the chat section. I would now like to welcome Swami, our speaker for today's session. He is an aspirant software architect and currently works at Applied Information Sciences. He loves to learn about new technologies, but for now, I will hand over to Swami to begin the session. Let me bring him into the stream. Here you go, Swami. Over to you now.
Thanks so much, Rashmita. How are you doing this evening?
I'm all good, all good. How about you?
I'm doing good and pretty much excited with today's content as every other session. Is my screen in share? And
Yes, your screen is shared, and over to you now, Swami. Thank you.
okay, just the view is mine. Uh, okay, could you please adjust the view? Come to on the bottom left, so that extra
Yes,
space
I
will be
did.
given. You
Yeah.
did that? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Hey guys, thanks for joining. Today's session is Azure AI Vision Service. We'll be speaking about a little bit about the Vision Service and do a dive into the OCR. And I here are the learn modules, and I'm still a learner. Apologize if I do any mistake. I would like to speak 1 minute about the previous session. In the previous session, there were two queries. One query, I did a research on that, read about it, but again, I think I need to fall back on the Azure documentation, whether it, how much of it supports. I'll come back to him. But other question, Mr. Sinar, Mr. Singh, you asked a query. I was not sure at that point of time, but I did the hands-on because that was the question itself was pretty generic. I was just blabbering something at the time. Just I wanted to do hands-on that before giving you an answer. So the query, your query has been answered. One more query is there. I think Joe or someone asked it. I still remember what's the query. I'll get back to you by the next session. So I'm a learner. I just started dipping my toes in the water of AI, ML. So I will go back and learn myself and answer. Please feel free to post your queries, and if I'm unable to answer, as I'll take time, I'll do the hands-on. I'll come back with the query. So this session we have a lot of hands-on today. So the big picture, fasten your seatbelt, and the code has been given here in this link. I have updated it. I'll check in that. So if you come and see that here in this AIML, Rashmita will give you all the links. Here it is there. So I will check in this code, latest code, which is with me. I'll check in that. Okay. That's one thing. So let me close this so that I have less number of things to deal with. I'll close this one also. This is my main GitHub repository. And that being said, let's come back to the main one. So we have the learn modules, and let's see what are we going to do today. So this is the playlist where you can see all the videos. Now, the provisioning the AI services and retrieving the keys, that we have seen quite a few times. So I don't want to spend time on that. Let's save the time on that instead of spending it. Let's go forward. So this was a query which was asked by Mr. Sinar, Mr. Singh. I don't know, Abhinav or something. In my previous session, he asked it. Can we get out of the box whether the man is coming out of the door? So I just tried a couple of things here I would like to show. So let me come here and show these. Yeah, that's in AI ML. Yeah, I think here. Yes, in this analyze images. If we come to this analyze images, this was a previous session. In that we have images. Let me make this images extra large. So we'll see this large images. So these three images I have generated using Copilot. Maybe they used DALI, but this one I picked it from the Google. I just said that man coming out of the door. So we'll see how it analyzes when we give these three. So let me close this, the image analysis. Yeah, let me come back here. So first let's give this image. Yeah, this image 3. So let's see if we give this image 3. uh, I uncomment this and I comment this. So this is man door image 3. So let's see this, how it analyzes this. So based on those two captions and the dense captions, it I'm pretty much sure that it will give out of the box whether the guy is coming out of the door or uh, the guy is coming out of the door or not. So let me see this analysis. If you see this, the man walking with the backpack through a doorway. So confidence is 70%, but it clearly tells that the man is coming out of the door. That's one thing. So let me stop that and go back and change this to this image. I mean, the other image I have picked it up from Google. I just told that man coming out of the door. So let's see till what level we need it. We need dense captions. Till that level we need it. We don't need to go any further. So let's see that. If we see, I gave this image. Now you can see this, a man in hat opening the door. So this image, the one which we have given 4, it exactly, maybe it's figuring out that he's opening the door. That means his intention is to coming out. This one, I think, is little bit outside this, but I'm little scared on this image. Just now I observed this guy has got 3 hands. See, this one is here, one is here, and one is on the handle. Ooh, just now I figured it out. That's a ghost image. See this? This guy has 1, 2, 3. Okay, jokes apart. Seriously, I'm scared now. This is what Dali has given. So right now, if you see this between these two images, it is giving us the caption. So I don't know, Mr. Sinha or Mr. Singh, whoever asked the query, can we do it out of the box? I think this is the answer for that. I think we should be able to figure it out. So that's about the query. One more query is there. I think Joe's or someone who asked it. I'm unable to recall your name, but I remember the query. I'll chase it for sure. So that's about the query from my previous session. It got answered. So if you come back, read text in images and document. Let's spend a couple of minutes before going any further. If you come and see the official syllabus. Now, I personally liked the way it is organized as of today. Seriously. Now this goes based on the modules. If you see that, if you see here, it exactly has got getting started with AI service, computer vision, NLP, AI search, document intelligence, and Azure OpenAI. If you see that, exactly based on the examination modules, they have organized it properly. And if I come and look at this first module, in this first module, we have in this first chapter or in this first unit, we have 5 modules. We have covered this, create and consume, we have covered Azure AI service, monitor, this one we have covered. I remember CI/CD is pending in containers. Azure Kubernetes service is pending. I remember whatever is pending. I'll appropriately get those content onto the table. Okay. Now we are chasing the second chapter, Azure Computer Vision. So from the Azure computer vision perspective, you see that we have completed two of this: analyze videos and image classification. Image classification, mostly we worked in the studio. We didn't do the coding from C sharp. So that is pending, I remember. And in the analyze image, we didn't do Python. So if you see that analyze image, image classification, and today's read text and image and documents with Azure AI service. Here also we are doing in C sharp. And I think next I'll create one specific session where we will go through the Python coding of all these three units. So that will be covering the C sharp and we'll compare and contrast with Python. So that we know all the samples, both the samples are covered. So that's the plan of attack. And then that's how we'll take it. Okay. So today's chapter, whatever we are discussing, is exclusively this one, Azure AI Vision service. Okay. So let's come back to this AI Vision service, and this is the first unit. So I'll come to the documentation here, official documentation, Microsoft, and let's see OCR. Before going OCR, let's spend 2 minutes time on Azure AI Vision service. If you see that Azure AI Vision service has got the optical character recognition, OCR, and it has got other names also, text analysis and text extraction. Different names were used at this point of time. Latest it is Azure optical character recognition. And then we did quite a few image analysis, and we have yet to cover the face analysis and video analysis. But our focus for today will be optical character recognition. So what is that we are going to do in this particular chapter? I'll come back and quickly walk you through, and then we'll see. So here first we will see how to work with Vision Studio on OCR. And then we'll spend some time, how can we do a REST API calls using Postman. Once you're able to do with the Postman, you'll be able to definitely do with the C Sharp or curl or any language for that matter of fact. Here also, the working with read REST API in Postman, we'll do in two flavors. One flavor is in Vision 3.2 and version 4. So 3.2 is the type where you have to make an asynchronous call. That means you submit the job, wait for some time. It gives you the location. Where is the location where you can retrieve the output? And you need to make a second call to get the output. And version 4 is a single call where it gets the data. That we will look at it. And the next thing we will use Azure AI Vision SDK. Will work in C Sharp sample and we'll get our knowledge. And the fourth is very interesting piece. That's getting our own Docker container, deploying it and work. So today we'll cover dropping it in our local Docker, and in the future episode we will be covering dropping those in ACI, and Kubernetes is pending. So one session we'll do exclusively a couple of images will drop in ACI and AKS, this and other one. So we'll be spending a decent amount on those Kubernetes and any other samples which are left out, so that we'll be equal. So that's pretty interesting. So without any further delay, let's start with this. Come back here. And you can see this optical character recognition overview. So this is previously, as I was mentioning, text recognition or text extraction. It's machine learning based OCR techniques to extract the printed and handwritten text from images, posters, and the product labels. A lot of other things are there. So there is a slight overlap between the OCR and document intelligence. Document intelligence is a separate unit in its own. If you come and see the official syllabus, we can see that document intelligence. So we'll park the document intelligence piece as of now. You can have to explore, to be frank. So we'll be focusing on Azure AI Vision, Azure AI Vision. So OCR engine, again, if you see that, as I was mentioning, two flavors I see. One is the flavor which is 4.0, one is the flavor which is 3.2. So one difference we can see that 3.2 is you need to make two calls if you're using the REST API. One call is you submit a job and wait for it to give the result. Like if you see ASP.NET APIs, where you create in CRUD operation, you create a insert a row, then created at this route created at will send outside in the JSON. So that will give the get location for that particular record which we inserted into the database. So then if you directly pick that and put it in the Postman, you will get the record details. So this guy is also doing the similar thing where you give an image for that analysis, it analyzes that, and it gives a location where you will get the results. Then you need to make a second call to do it. That's in version 3.2. If you use version 4, what happens is you can make a single call. That's a synchronous. You hit the call, it does the job, and it is giving it back. So that shows when you are doing something synchronous means you are pretty much sure that it is highly performant. I'm not telling that version 3.2 is not that much performant, but doing something of this bigger thing in asynchronous, I really appreciate the performance of that. I seriously liked it. Okay. So that's about the supported language. There are a lot of supported languages are there, and common features. Some of the things like PDF and other things, it's better to use the document intelligence. So which is another section in itself in AI 102. So we'll come back to that one. As of now, we'll focus something which is related use cases for OCR. So printed and handwritten pages of lines and a lot of other things are there. And this is also we are using the container to deploy. Okay, and just I want to walk you through one other piece for Studio. So first one, if you see this is Azure AI Vision version 3.2, and if you see this is version 4.0. Now version 4.0 we can correlate with image analysis. I don't want to dilute. Let's take step by step. Okay. So the first step is we are doing in 4 different ways, guys. So the first way is with Studio. Then second one is with REST API. Third with Azure AI Vision SDK. And the fourth with containers. So let's stick to the game plan. First, we'll spend some time on working with Vision Studio. So I'll come back here. Now, if you see this, here you will have the Vision Studio, or you can come back to the main multi-service account, and you can click on this. Here you will have the decision, language, speech, vision. You click on this vision, and you can click on this document intelligence. And here inside this vision, you can go to this computer vision, and you can check that. Or else there is another way. We can create from the documentation itself, you can navigate. Suppose if you have an exclusively, you created a Vision service, you can click on go to Vision Studio. That will take you to this Vision Studio. The Vision Studio is you need to have a proper account, the multi-service account which is already created, because you need to key in the credentials of that one. So once you come to this Vision Studio, this is how it will be. Like this, it shows the featured all the featured items will be displayed here. So you can see this, a lot of these things are there, but we'll stick to the game plan in optical character recognition only. Okay. And let's come back to this optical character recognition. So this is extract text from images, that is also given at the featured one. So let's come back to this optical character recognition and click on try it out. So once we click on the try it out, it shows this one. Let me do F11 so that it maximizes this one. And you see this is my multi-service account. Okay, this is my multi-service account. It has got, it has to be hooked. I told, isn't it? We have to hook this up. So the multi-service account is already hooked. Now at this point of time, there's nothing in here. So if I select this one, a handwritten note. So this guy says that, see this, how beautifully this guy is doing a box, and you mouse over on this, you can see that it has recognized, including that exclamation. This is a textual thing. We can come back over here, and each line and each word it recognizes. Now, if you come to the JSON, you can see the number of lines. So this is the bigger line. So the bonding polygon is, it gives for this one, that is this bonding polygon, it is giving for the entire line. This is for the line, and inside that line you have multiple words. You see this you, and if you go to the next one, must, and next one is be. So you can see this, it extracts the line and it gives the bonding polygon for that particular line, and also for each word inside that line, it extracts each and every word and it gives this bounding polygon for that particular word. So that's one thing. And now if you, we'll go with all these things. Now this is a fictitious SSN social security one. So you can see that, let's come to this detected attributes. So you can see that social security, see that how beautifully it highlights, and somewhere like social, this is SECUR, and this is the social security number, and this one fake or whatever it is, it's giving all these things, and including it gives a highlight of from which location in that picture it has extracted this. Now let's see this one, whatever he's showing. So this is national identity card. So it's taking a little bit time, but it will extract that. So you can see this, the pretty much it gives this national identity card for some reason. Yeah, national. And you can see that it is going, it's not, I'm not able to read that, but it's clearly able to go through this and read all these things. See, this is all the things it's reading. So let's see similar credit card. It's able to read all these things like bank, and see that 9102, even if it is like a little bit of script kind of thing. This one, see this, it located that it's 8, 5678. It was able to identify. Now you'll see this one. Life is like riding a bike. To keep your balance, you must keep moving. Good. So you can see this, the text itself is little bit tilted. I'm unable to recall on top of my mind, but there is a property we need to set it as true. True in the sense, whenever the text, if it is not straight or it is a little bit of angle, we need to specify that attribute. So we can see that somewhere in the output also it gives that particular attribute as true or something. Maybe it has, in this version it is not available. Maybe it's a previous version, I assume. But I remember that when the text itself is not in a straight one, we have to do that. And let's see this label, and you can see here the text itself is a little bit some degree of angle is a little different on this one, but it is able to read everything. Apart from that, we can browse the files and we can give it and see the intelligence of this one. I really like it. First thing is I'll give this. I really like it. So see, it says no thanks. That's one, and we are too busy. It has read that is no and thanks, and the second line here we are, and that line is too busy. So it's pretty much extracting this one. And let's see a couple of other things. Here I'm giving a Hindi script, and you can see that every word, or I can read little. So see, every word it's able to go and get it. Now we'll try Tamil. This is a Tamil script. So that's also it's able to recognize the entire script. Okay, and another thing is one of my project. Um, this is the community service project which I did it. See, pretty coolly it able to read, including the prompt, the title, the PowerShell title, and all these things like whatever the what is an apple and what is an orange, like who is Albert Einstein, all the query. This is Azure OpenAI sample which I'm working on. So it pretty much it captured everything with that minute details it's capturing. So that's about our first thing. How can we interact with OCR Azure Vision service with the Vision Studio? So we did try quite a few things. Now let's come to the interesting part, that is working with read REST API. So that one I have to fall back on. First, let's see this 3.2. So Vision Studio we have seen. Now we are coming to how can we interact with Azure AI Vision with REST API. So in this REST API, we'll come back to the 4.0 in a moment. So it gives some of the rules of the game. So let's see. One is this presentation, it is there. So here just observe a little bit of difference will be there, but not that much. The only thing is you can see what is that we are using is we are using read and analyze. And in the vision itself, you will give that v3.0. So that means you are hitting the version 3.0. That's a older version. So in this, what will happen is, so once you make the first call, that will give a result. In one of that is operation location. So one of that it says is operation location. So once you have this operation location, so it is going to get the give the location, and we need to make a get call. So the first call is a post call. So the first call you make it to the vision read is that you give the picture URL and you make a call, and then the output of that is 202, and it gives the operation location. You need to take this and make a second get call. So that's where it gives the analysis of this. Okay, so what I'll do is, let me go, and just for the sake in this analyze image, I will, in the C# version, let me open up in VS Code. We'll try this one also. Here we had a couple of images. One of the image I want to see, street. I think street. Yeah, this is a very good one. We'll see if we are able to read it. At the bottom, we have given that URL. Yeah, here, image analysis. Yes, street. Yeah, we can use that. So first, let's see this. First, I'll close all the tabs and come back to 3.2. So in this 3.2, first thing is presentation PNG. So if I go and see this presentation PNG, this is the image we are giving it. So we have 9:35 a.m. and town hall. Some of these things are there. So we'll do a send. Once you do a send, it did the analysis. It said that 202 accepted. Now we need to go to headers, and we see that operation location. So select that operation location and come back and make a get call. Now if I come back and add this get call, and you see that it has started creating the bounding box, the lines. The first line is 9:35 a.m. You can see that 9:35 a.m. And the second line is conference room number, this one. So that's the second line, conference room so and so. So you can dig deeper into that, so that this is the version 3.2, where you need to make two calls. So here it says that operation location it is giving, and I think it has given the time to live. I'm not sure about the time to live. I don't want to blabber something. So that's it is there. I didn't explore that how many minutes it will store it, but that's there. And now see this. Now we are making version 4 call. So in this the same presentation one. So if I make the version 4.1, so in a single call, it is giving the analysis. It is taking the image, it is reading the text, it does a OCR analysis on this, and it is sending the response out. So this is version 4. Version V 3.2, you need to make 2 calls. Okay, that being said, let's give it a shot of this one. I don't know whether it will work or not, but there is no harm in failing. Let's regret in failure, but not uh, should not regret that, hey, we didn't try this. Let's try it. Uh, so let's see that. Okay, this is the image. Okay, cool. Is it a GitHub or okay? If I say raw equal to true, I don't need to give that. Yeah, I think this is what. Let's take this guy, and instead of that, let's give this PNG, and let's send this for analysis. And text, did it analyze anything? No, it didn't analyze anything here. Maybe the text itself is not clear. I'm not sure. Let's see this one. I'll try putting it here. It says accepted. Let's see what is it is giving as part of this. I mean, no harm in trying. Again, we should not regret that we didn't try this. Okay, so it's unable to read that because is it a blur or it's pretty much a blur. I'm sure on that. Very hardly we are able to see this text and this text, and there is a street sign. It's not that visible. Okay, that's fine. I mean, to a decent extent, it should be visible. So that's the second section we have completed. The first one was Vision Studio, and the second one was with the REST API. And again, in REST API, we tried 2 different options. The first option was 3.2, where you need to make 2 calls, and the second one was the 4.0. Now let's come back to this working with AI Vision Studio. Okay, so let's see this one. So I'll switch back to this syllabus, whatever we are discussing. We saw this one, first one, what OCR is and how there is a small overlap between the OCR and document intelligence. So here you can see this. He is giving a pretty much use of images and PDF and improved accuracy, and the call is the synchronous call, and call returns, sorry, asynchronous call. It returns the operation ID, which we will make a second call. It's similar to the v3.2, whatever we have seen. So here is the one which is for analyzing the images, extracting the text, and object detection. OCR is part of like image analysis. That's good point. Let's go back to the 4.0 and see the URL. Computer vision, image analysis, and features we are saying read. Now, if you remember the previous session code, whatever we did it, we said that feature dot. Let me take you to that location for a moment again. And if I open this, so again we are using the image analysis, and one of the feature attribute what we are sending is to analyze, to read it. So if you see that here, the parameter what we used to send here, see this caption, dense caption, objects, tags, and people. Now, if you go to the visual features, that enumeration, and one of the enumeration is this read. So you can now compare the URL. You're saying that, hey, do I image analysis and features, just read, give me all the text. But if you see this 3.2, it's clearly it says that vision, read, analyze. So the URL itself is different. So you need to understand that what is that we are using. I'll close this. So let me come back to this documentation. This is, we are using the analysis. You can use the read also. Technically, we will use the library. So it comes into picture when you're hitting the API. That's the second section. Now use read API. So this is the analyze. You can see that the same code what we have written in the previous session, except that in the visual feature we used to pass the caption, dense caption, tags, and people. Instead, we are saying that read, just read all the content from that particular image. And see this. This is 4.0. Computer vision, image analysis, analyze features is equal to read. So subsection, you can see this visual features read, and here in the API it is read. So that means this is version 4. 3.2, we have seen that it comes with read. It comes with read in the URL itself. You can see that read. But here the read doesn't come. It's part of the image analysis, computer vision, image analysis. Analyze what you want to analyze. Features, read. Similarly, you're saying that visual features, read. We'll see that in a minute. And it does the rounding, bounding box. We saw that bounding box per line, and also within that line, how many words are there. It does a bounding box for each and every word also. So that is that. And the next thing is exercise. So let's come back to that exercise over here. So in this exercise, we will come back to the top and we'll go step by step. So if you clone this repo, MS Learn AI Vision, so that itself will give you the partial code of this one. You can see this C# OCR file. It has got the project. It's in .NET 7. I just wrote it in .NET 8, nothing else. It's just Microsoft's code copy paste. So it's not my intelligence for sure. So there's a partially written code, and we have to follow step by step the documentation, and we'll be able to achieve it. So let's do that. And in the app settings, we need to have the endpoint and API service key as we did it in the previous section. So let's come in here. So this is what it is. We are here, and let's follow this one. Cloning the repo. Let's assume that we cloned it, and we need to have a resource, and that resource is here. So we can come in here, and this is the multi-service account, which we already have it. So let's go here, and then we will start step by step. Let's come back to this lab, official lab, and prepare for AI SDK. So this is beta 1. We need to take Azure AI Vision Analysis Service, beta 1. Now, if you come and see this, it's beta 2. So if I come into dependencies and manage NuGet package, and we'll see the only things are from 8 to .NET 9. That's the only thing which is showing. But if you come back and see the installed one, which is Azure AI Vision Image Analysis, it's beta 1. Right now we have beta 2. You see that that's the latest one. So we are taking it. So that's the first part. I'll come back to the Python in another section. Exclusively, we'll create one session in the month of July where we'll speak this, and second part of July we'll have the containerization of all these image and analysis, and let's work in Kubernetes and ACI. Let's spend time on the containers because this is really needed. Let's spend a decent amount of time on that. Then what we have to do is Azure AI Vision SDK to read the text from the image. So first thing what we will do is we'll take this import. We'll create an import. Instead, we'll spend time from here. So let me show that. As in the previous example also, I just wrapped a host builder here. So just created a host and calling two different things. There is a configuration, so strongly typed configuration, so it will hold the services endpoint and this will hold the keys and extensions. I have written a small library which will have an header and footer. Nothing big. It's like a small, tiny library. And these are some of the images, Lincoln and note. So one is the handwritten note, which we have already seen, pretty similar to that. And another one is Lincoln's picture with the text written on top of that. So these are the two images we will analyze here. And then we'll come back. We have the app settings and app settings JSON. I've just given a template where you can inject your this thing and your credentials, and you can go ahead. So that being said, image analysis client we are creating. So we need to have the endpoint and the credentials key. So those two things we are passing it. So this gets us image client. And from here we are asking, do you want to go ahead and use the first one or the second one, the node JPG. And then based on that, we are calling get read text. Okay, the get read text is this image, sorry, this method. So we'll read that method. So first we are reading the file stream and we are sending it to the image analysis. It's exactly the same, similar code what we did it, except that we are sending only one visual feature instead of multiple visual feature. We are sending exclusively read. That means we are targeting OCR. And inside that OCR, we saw that we are looping through different lines, and all these lines are being displayed there. So what I will do is, for the time being, this is the block. Okay, so let me block this code for the time being. Okay, let's block this code. Let's see. Let's make step-by-step analysis, and also let's keep this one. I will select the Lincoln image where it is pretty clear. At least we have 4 lines, so we need to see those 4 lines. Let's see. So you can see this. This is a temple, and as in the heart. Hey, where did it come? I didn't even give it an option. How did it start? Yes, it is here. Let it give me an control. Just give me a minute. Okay, now selected one. So you can see that it is reading the Lincoln, and you can see this in this temple as in the hearts of the people. So everything it is given, and also the bounding polygon is for the line. So the first I told in the Vision Studio also we have seen that first it gives a line and the bounding polygon for the line, and then it loops through the text and again it gives the bounding polygon for the text. So that's the first piece where it goes and gets the individual line. Now what we will do is we will go through individual text now. I have uncommented that. Now this is the bounding polygon. Now let's read it again. Okay. Now again I give 1. Now you can see this time it reads, and you can see that the first line, as I was mentioning, the first line, the green one, the first line is in this temple. The bounding polygon is for this entire line in the picture, and then each individual word and its bonding polygon, and the confidence level also it is giving. And apart from that, what we can do is we can come back to this bin and go to this. Here inside the images, there is a file called text.jpg, and you can see that the bounding box, it goes and it rounds it. Like similarly we have seen in the Vision Studio, when you give the image, it analyze it, and also on the right side it gave the text. When you mouse over either on the text, it highlights here. If you mouse over on the image text, it highlights there. So that's the one. So this is pretty cool. I will close all these things and let's go to the fourth way to interact with OCR. So the fourth way is, I'll come back to this one. We can close it. And in this 3.2, if you come how to get, you have this container, use read container. So you can click on that. We'll come into this. So here you understand that the read container is version 3.2. It's not 4, it's 3.2. That means you need to make 2 calls. That being said, you can see there is a Docker image which we need to pull it. So this is the Docker image. So the first command you have to execute is get this Docker image. So let me come back over here. So this is Docker pull. So if I come in here and I can execute this, so that is already there. And now then next thing what I did is I executed the second command where you need to execute it. So if you see the documentation, in the documentation they are executing it in interactive mode. That means the shell will be under its control. It will not give the control back to us. And for some reason, I have something running on my machine, so I'm not using 5000. This is the host port. This is the Docker port. So the host port, I changed it to 5005, and instead of interactive, I said detached mode. So when I executed that, I captured that image. So if you see that, I executed the same command. Instead of IT here, instead of interactive, I said detached. And another thing is 5005. You can see that executed. Here I've given the API key. Here is a billing. So that we need to have a resource, multi-service account. You need to have the multi-service account and the key you need to give. So it uses for the billing purpose. Rest you can use it, the container, but definitely it does calls to the Azure resource. From the billing perspective, it does it. So apart from that, you can see that use the local read container. Now, let's see a little bit of analysis. Let's see into the container. Let's do and get into the container. So you can see sometimes, I don't know why it shows this. Let's see that. And you can see, I can come and click on this. I'll see, will come. Now you can do an ls into that. So you can see what is there inside that container. I'll do clear pwd. It's app container. So ls-hell. So you can see lot of DLLs are there within this container. All this Microsoft DLLs are there here. So maybe gRP is also there. You have a proto file. Tons and tons of things are there. I will come back to learn on that. So you can see if you navigate to 5005, here you can see this 5005. So when you navigate to 5005, you will have it. Some of the documentation, they said that if you navigate to Swagger, it gives us the documentation, but I was unable to get it. But another good thing is they have given the service API description. So just click on that service API description. Once you click on that service API description, this has given a beautiful documentation, more than documentation, I would call. And they've given what type of call it is, and you can see that that you can exactly map with this one over here. You can see Vision 3.0 read, 3.2 read analyze. So similarly, you can see this one, and it has given the full URL also, Vision 3.2 read analyze. And here also you need to give this image, and then it makes a analysis. You can see that the query parameters, if you have multiple things, you can PDF or TIFF. But as we have seen in the documentation, they asked better to stick to the images when we are dealing with OCR. So the language, pages, reading order, and model version, and the body will be application JSON. So inside that, you need to give the URL. So expected is 202, accepted, that's what we have seen it. And to retrieve the status, again, we need to do the read operation, whatever the read ID is there. And this is what we saw that. Again, there is a synchronous read operation, which we have seen we have seen the synchronous one in the previous 4.0. Okay, so let's try this. We have everything. Let's try it. So I'll come back here, and I'll close this. So let me come back to this one. And again, we are using the same quick start one. So I will come in here. Let's see the logs, just to ensure that we are reading our local container. So I sent this, so you can see that logs. Okay, so it has accepted. It is purely, I mean, surely it is coming to localhost 5005. And let's come back and look at the headers. And here it says that this is where its data is ready. So we can come back to this one and click on that. So we'll see the same 931, this box. And let me see if I have any other image which is there online. This again, I need to keep it and put it somewhere. This is the quick start media. Do we have anything else in this media? This one is there, and we can go to we'll give this. Let's see what does it do. Let me come back here, and let me see. Okay, it is given. Let's see, did it read that placeholder text image? There you go. 600 into 400. So in the placeholder, whatever was there, it was able to read it. And unsplash, I think so. Unsplash images. Let's go to unsplash images. Let's go to this free images. And yeah, let's use this one. This is good because it says that it will read the it will read this signboards. Copy image address, and let's give this to this one from Unsplash. I mean, this is an experiment. I never did it, so let's see. Okay, it accepted. Ooh, see that? Old ways. old ways, won't open. The second line, won't open. New, that's the third line. Oh, okay, it has, it has read this watermark also. Oh, this is where instead of doors, it said BOURS. So that's one mistake. I think we can live with that. But apart from that, I think all is well. So that's it from my side, guys. And next, we have next session, we will be doing a dive into detect, analyze, and recognize phase, so that if you can compare with the vision syllabus that is there. And okay, so that's it from my side. Back to you, Rashmita.
Hey, thanks, Swami, so much. And thank you all for joining us today. Please visit Microsoft Reactor website for more upcoming sessions. Feel free to use the Learn module link that I've already shared in the chat section to take your learning further. Thank you all once again and enjoy the rest of your day.